Hello, my name is John Leeming, and I'm going to take you back over 60 years for some rather special fake news. I was still at school in Woking in Surrey, and we'd just finished our A levels, those of us in the sixth form, and a group of us decided that we wanted to find something to fill the spare time that we then had. So we got together one day and we created this cricket team, not a real cricket team, but a fictitious one. And we invented reports of their activities week by week, which we sent to the local newspaper, the Woking News and Mail. The team was captained by Colonel R.W. Polhill, who we imagined was a sort of retired army colonel from the Indian Army. And the first match they played against a village side, veterans from two little villages in Surrey called Wick and Normandy. And Wick and Normandy veterans got 100 runs in no time at all. The poor Colonel's team didn't do so well, but no matter, it was faithfully reported in the local paper. Century for veterans.
Colonel R.W. Polhill, captain of the visiting side, is about to begin his 33rd consecutive over. He now comes in to bowl to Tompkin. That's a strange ball down the leg side, and he snicked it over mid-off for 6.
Ha ha! Yes, well, we were spurred on by this, and that meant that further reports were sent week by week of the various matches they played. And the poor Colonel never actually won a match. I think the nearest he came was salvaging a draw. There was always some good reason, like a tea-time shower that had upset the wicket or something like that anyway. One or two other people joined in as well. They saw through what we were doing, and we saw various letters that appeared in the paper about the Colonel and people who remembered him from days gone by. Major Murgatroyd remembered him from a Japanese prisoner of war camp during the war, and we were delighted, of course, that these reports started to appear. Not daunted, we carried on, and we decided that Colonel R.W. Polhill's 11, with his various strangely named team members like Lionel Stroon and Norman Tournament and one or two others like that, and he was going to have a tour of northern Italy to introduce the idea of cricket to the villagers in the north of that country. Off he went, and this again was duly reported in the local paper. He managed to salvage a draw against the local team of Santa Paluccio, I think it was. And he also did a bit of mountain walking and had a tragic accident, and that was also reported in the local paper. 30-foot fall in Dolomites.
Whilst climbing in the Dolomites with certain members of his cricket team, Colonel R.W. Polhill sustained slight cuts and bruises when he slipped and fell about 30 feet down a steep scree on Tuesday week.
Anyway, while all this was going on, we ran a parallel organisation whose events were also reported, and that was this one.
Spinsters Guild held first meeting.
Yes, the Woking Spinsters Guild. They had romantic meetings every week and guest speakers, including Lady Violet Brown of Sunbury, whose late husband George had spent many years perfecting a recipe for minestrone soup. The Wick and Normandy veterans who'd played their first cricket match also had a life of their own, and they used to go on coach outings to the seaside and the country, and their oldest member was a man called Sylvester Chin, or so we invented. And he always made a little speech during the outings.
This annual outing is, what's this? One of the high spots of my life.
It was always the same speech, but a bit of fun anyway, and their events were reported as well. So we had quite a lot going on. Not to forget, of course, some serious correspondence about the state of Woking drains. Every week we wrote a letter complaining and someone else would reply. We never got a genuine person responding, but we kept the correspondence going for some time just amongst ourselves, which was quite fun. Eventually, the local paper editor found out and he was not best pleased, but we decided we have to do something to finish off our little adventure. And before we all went our separate ways, we decided that we would hold an exhibition, an art exhibition of largely rubbishy stuff. So we booked a hall in the town of Addlestone, not far away, in the main high street there. This was in July 1961, and we gathered together as much rubbish as we could, put it on display. We advertised the event. We had posters printed, which we displayed throughout the town. We had a mention on the local radio the night before.
And also tomorrow, a one-day show in the Cooperative Hall at Addlestone, Surrey, by the Ephebians. Who are they? A society formed in Addlestone this year with the aim of bringing together young people interested in the more abstract forms of art.
We went from door to door selling posters. We had a car driving round with trumpets blaring. And the great day came July the 21st, I think it was, 1961. We're now going to go back to that year to give you a flavour of that exhibition.
The Ephebians will always be remembered in Addlestone for their unique art exhibition held in the summer of 1961. An intense publicity campaign was embarked upon, including one or two unorthodox methods. The Co-op Hall was suitably bestrewn for the occasion. The exhibit having been correctly arranged, all that remained was to await the arrival of the first visitor. In a short time, sufficient people had assembled for Mr. J.R. Copleston to give his opening address.
The exhibition which you see here is the first of, we hope, several of this kind. It is the first public result that has been put on show of their industry and enterprise, and we hope very much that the talent which is on display will not go completely unrecognized. I would particularly commend to your attention the public spirit which these young artists have shown. Now, one of the most serious problems confronting the artist in our society, particularly the young artist who is not well known and finds it difficult to publicize his work, is to find a method of obtaining recognition for his painting and his sculpture by exhibiting it to the general public.
Visitors were then able to walk around and to draw their own conclusions. Opinions varied, of course.
Yes, it's rather glaring, isn't it?
Yes, starving me.